Making a great movie that the audience loves requires a lot of time and effort. Movie producers strive to create an immersive experience where the audience feels like what they are watching is realistic and believable. But sometimes bringing these ideas to life is impossible without the use of special visual effects. Some of the greatest movies today are so because of the creative visual storytelling using CGI to recreate astonishing and realistic worlds. A lot of work goes into making these movies. So, in this video, we will show you what some of the greatest movie scenes look like before and after visual effects were added. The first movie on our list is Wakanda Forever. In 2022, Marvel Cinematic Universe released Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, the much-anticipated sequel to the 2018 Black Panther movie. Once again directed by Ryan Coogler, Wakanda Forever follows up on the people of Wakanda after the loss of King T'Challa, while protecting their home from a newly discovered underwater kingdom of Talokan. Just like most Marvel movies, the film relies heavily on visual effects to bring its world and characters to life. Marvel Studios' visual development team worked with a dozen of VFX teams and hundreds of talents to create the mind-blowing effects that made the movie a masterpiece. They had over 2,400 VFX shots and were introduced to an entirely new underwater world of Talokan, including their leader and the main antagonist, Namor. Perhaps the most brilliant use of visual effects in this movie was when Namor brought his army and the literal ocean to attack Wakanda. Namor gracefully glides through both water and air as he attacks the Wakanda warriors and the throne room. This scene was made possible through a complex coordinated effort from the VFX team. Each of Namor's movements was filmed in a large studio space, with giant blue screens everywhere and wires attached to his body to allow him to float freely. However, the fluid movement in the air was basically a computer-generated character. The movie turned out to be a worthy successor of the original, and a great tribute to the late Chadwick Boseman. Second on our list is the 2022 survival thriller movie, Fall. The movie is based on the story of two daredevil friends, Becky and Hunter, who climbed to the top of a 2,000-foot abandoned radio tower in the middle of the desert. Becky had tragically lost her husband during a rock climbing accident a year earlier, and her life had become miserable. Hunter suggested climbing the abandoned radio tower to Becky as a means to help her overcome her husband's death by spreading the ashes from the top of the platform. Although the idea seemed absurd, Becky agreed, and these two friends embarked on this terrifying adventure. The director of this movie, Scott Mann, did a great job of making the viewer feel like they are with these two friends in every shivery step they take, using great sound design and surreal visual effects. One of the most terror-inducing scenes in this movie was when the girls decided to start climbing back down. Becky goes down first, but the unscrewed part of the ladder comes loose, causing the entire ladder to topple and fall to the ground. As Becky hangs on for dear life, the entire experience felt surreal and had the audience on the edge of their seat, even though in reality, she was never more than 100 feet off the ground. The tower in this movie was inspired by a real 2,000-foot radio tower in California. The producers built the upper portion of the tower on top of a mountain in a location in California, while using a blue backdrop at the base to create a sense of depth. The credit goes to the actors for deciding to perform the dangerous stunts in the movie. Nevertheless, the surreal and vertigo-inducing experience felt in this movie would not have been possible without the innovative use of CGI. Spider-Man: No Way Home is the third in a series of Spider-Man movies launched by Marvel Studios. John Watts returned as the director with Tom Holland as Peter Parker, as well as surprise appearances by Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. Needless to say, No Way Home is a cinematic masterpiece, thanks to its excellent acting, writing, and impeccable visual effects. Talking about visual effects, the movie has over 2,500 VFX shots, which were combined to create several noteworthy scenes in the action flick. The movie picked up from where it left off after the 2019 Spider-Man: Far From Home, with Spider-Man's identity getting revealed. Peter tried to fix this by asking Doctor Strange for help at the Sanctum Sanctorum. Several memorable scenes were created using special effects here, starting from when Doctor Strange appeared to be floating down the stairs towards Peter. Doctor Strange was lowered by wires, which were digitally removed in the final production. Another scene created with visual effects was when Peter messes with Doctor Strange's spell and both men's feet were lifted off the floor. Again, wires were used to lift the men, while the special light around them was created using VFX. The outcome of Peter's action allowed visitors from alternate realities to enter Parker's universe. And one of the first visitors that Peter encountered was the iconic villain, Dr. Otto Octavius. The fight scene between the duo was created in a studio with blue screens. The tentacle on Dr. Octavius was created entirely through CGI, while wires and a tuning fork were used to control his movement in space. Spider-Man, on the other hand, wore a motion capture suit to allow the VFX team to track his movement and add his costume. In certain scenes where Spidey was smashed against the wall or turned upside down, the team simply strapped Peter to an overhead structure on the set using tapes and wires. All in all, the movie turned out to be an amazing watch. The next movie on our list is Everything Everywhere All at Once. In 2022, directors Daniel Kwan and Daniel Scheinert, collectively known as Daniels, released this masterpiece sci-fi comedy drama movie. The movie follows the story of a middle-aged Chinese woman who must travel across multiple universes in an insane adventure to save the universe. One thing that stands out the most in the movie is not just the storytelling, but the amazing visual effects pulled off by a team of 6 digital artists led by Zach Stoltz, who doubled as a supervisor and producer. The movie is low budget, but the team worked together to create an outstanding piece of art. The scenes where the protagonist is verse jumping were created using green screen on the background and LED screens on both sides, playing the footage of alternate universes. The editors then digitally removed the green screen, making our protagonist seamlessly travel between different realities. Christopher Nolan's latest movie, Oppenheimer, has been an amazing watch. Especially the hype around the most important scene in the movie where they drop an atomic bomb for the Trinity test. Now, many of us as fans would ask this question: did they really drop a real nuke for the movie? Or whether the scene was entirely created using CGI or VFX. Going by the track record, Nolan is one director who is known for using practical effects in his movies. But without special effects, creating the gigantic mushroom cloud is not an easy feat. The whole movie has been made without CGI. Yes, that's correct. Each and every scene in the movie has been captured on camera. So, the huge mushroom cloud that we saw in the movie is indeed real and has been created using real explosives. Though it's not a nuclear reaction that they used, as that would have been very dangerous, and it's highly unlikely that the director would receive such permission. So, it was just regular explosives, IMAX cameras, and a hell of a lot of talent. The last movie on our list is Avatar: The Way of Water. 13 years after the first Avatar movie was released, James Cameron took audiences back to the immersive world of Pandora in the latest installment, Avatar: The Way of Water. James Cameron has set the standard so high that it is almost impossible to tell what is real or not. Over 3,000 shots were taken for this movie, of which only 2 of the sequences appear to be VFX-free. The film heavily features underwater scenes, all shot in water with the cast in performance capture. 2 massive tanks, one with a 250,000-gallon capacity, were built with Manhattan Beach, California as the main shooting location. This allowed the director to film larger action sequences with a wave mover. In addition, 2 separate and huge green screen immersive sets were constructed. One sunk below the water to record underwater scenes, and the other set was above the water tank to record surface interaction scenes. The final fight sequence of the movie is one of the most interesting sequences in the movie, and here is what it looks like before and after VFX has been added. And that's all for this video. Let us know in the comments which of these movies is your favorite. Also, what movies would you like to see in our next video? Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more amazing videos. Thank you for watching.